It's the new. What?
It's funny.
No, I'm a good engineer. I'm not a very good singer.
Yeah, you're a good singer.
I'm not a good singer.
All right, we have a couple coming soon.
But you have to listen to me. You're stuck here with me.
We have a couple coming soon products.
Okay.
Let's kick it off.
Okay, so from HiFive, this is like really cool because the BBC worked on the microbit, and then like HiFive went to them and was like, well, let's do a version that's like a microbit compatible thing, but it looks like a gigantic like mitten, and like it has neopixels on the front. So it's got like, I don't know, like it looks like 40 or 50 neopixels on the front. It's got 2 buttons, and on the back it's got a HiFive. It's a RISC-V chip, and it's like a USB to serial converter, so you can program the chip. And then it's also got this ESP32 as a Wi-Fi and Bluetooth coprocessor. This thing is like jamming.
Because why not?
I love this thing. It's got like so much stuff going on. It's got all the sensors you expect, accelerometer and magnetometer, and I think it's got a light sensor on the front. So this is jam-packed. This is kind of the first kind of entry-level learning how to use RISC-V device I've seen. So they're going to have MicroPython ported for it, which is awesome. They also have some sort of block programming system set up. I don't have one of these yet. This is coming soon, so you can sign up. 2
versions. One is just this standalone.
Bare thing.
And then we have the Doctor Who version, because if it's BBC...
Doctor Who.
It's Doctor Who.
So you get a case.
Yeah, the Doctor Who one comes with more stuff.
Yeah, you get a case. It's got the logo. It looks pretty cool. Kind of goth. And it also comes with a speaker kit, so you can play audio, beeps, and boops. And of course, it has that Wi-Fi and Bluetooth built in. You can program it with MicroPython. I don't know. This is like super cool. I love this like proliferation of cool microbit compatibles. And of course, I'm always digging using an ESP32 as a coprocessor.
Yeah, and I think since Doctor Who is now a female Doctor Who, I think this is a good way to have more people getting this as a gift for maybe a daughter or a sister, because it has someone who they can imagine themselves being, or someone they already are fans of. So I think this is kind of good.
Nifty.
This is good.
So it's coming soon. So sign up. As soon as we get some, we'll let you know.
Yeah. All right. Next up.
Also coming soon, we've got this cool LED face-changing mask that Lumen Couture worked on. And I want to be clear.
These are directly from her.
Yes.
Because there's lots of places and lots of things. I know lots of people see her stuff and like use her photos online and stuff like that. But these are real. We actually reached out and said, hey, we would like to stock these.
So we got a sample. And then, of course, I forgot to put the battery. I recharged the batteries and put them back in. So I'm going to do that now. We're going to pretend like that didn't happen. Okay, so now.
Yeah, and you can do different modes. You want me to? I'll just do this.
Demo on me. So I can see through this.
Yeah.
I can see you. I can see
and it also has this little switchy
there's like a
sensor thing.
Yeah, it's cool.
So anyways.
But there's like, it comes with like hundreds of different like weird, cool animation faces. And of course you can make your own weird animation faces and upload them.
You can use an app, and you can draw your own faces. And you can also just go through, there's a ton of these.
It's basically a Hub 75 LED matrix that's like kind of curved and flexible, and it has 2 slots in it that you can see out of. So, it will open up inside the microcontroller is like this undocumented Cortex M4 chip, and it doesn't have like native USB. But we'll try to get the Bluetooth protocol for this, and then you can maybe program it from a desktop computer.
Yeah, and we have a little video. It's about a minute from Lumen Couture.
Okay, take it away.
What if your mask could let you be anyone you wanted? Hello and welcome to yet another mask video. I swear before 2020 I never even thought about masks, but here we are. Today I have an entirely different type of mask. It's not a COVID mask, but as you can see, it allows you to change your face and be anyone you want. The mask uses the same panels that I've been using since last year on my Matrix line of hoodies, skirts, and other outfits. The large panel is really cool, it responds fast, and it's lightweight and relatively inexpensive for how powerful it is. Similar to my other products in the Matrix line, you can program this mask with an app. All it took was having the manufacturer modify the panel to have eye sockets and then building the casing around it. The app comes with a bunch of presets, but one of the coolest parts is you can upload any image of a face. During the development of this, I've been weirding out everyone I know by answering Zoom calls as them. So they answer the call and they have their own face staring back at them. I am not going to have any friends by the time the pandemic is over. Similar to the mask I did back in April, this one can also display text, and also similar to that one, it has equalizer effects that respond to sound. I'm sure this will be really cool for events and DJs when we're actually out and at parties again.
Next up, tweezers.
Tweezers. Okay, well, that mask is really sweet. So yeah, sign up and we have some on order from Lumen Couture. You can get them from the Adafruit shop. Okay, so next up we've got the DT71 smart tweezers. This is from Miniware, and they just make like the coolest shit, to be honest. Like they've got their smart soldering station, they've got their smart power supply, but these tweezers I really like. I've always liked SMT tweezers because you have components, you can't read the part number, or there's no part number to be marked on them like a capacitor. You want to know what they are. So these are very elegant smart tweezers. So let me show them on the overhead because there's a lot going on here. So you've got the tweezer part here, and the tips are two kind of gold-plated connectors, and they go into the body of the tweezers, and one's marked like blue for negative and red for positive. And there's the battery inside of here, and then really an elegant spring mechanism. And then this is like the brains. To charge it, you would use this cable that adapts to USB-C into the plug. But let's just use it. So you plug this in to here, and it boots up. Tells you the version. You can, of course, change the firmware very easily. And then when you tap on the end, it goes into diode mode, DX, capacitive mode, CX, LX for inductor, FX for frequency, VX for voltage. So you can do live circuit, and then RX for resistance. So let me grab a resistor real fast, and then you can use it. And here's what's really cool is if I switch hands, so like I'm right-handed, so it says RX, but if I switch hands, it's smart, and it knows that I've changed hands, and it flips over the text, so it's always the
Those
right
are
way.
smart tweezers.
Very smart. So hold on, let me grab a resistor. Okay, so here I've got a little resistor, and I'm like, I can't even read the value. Maybe it doesn't even have the value printed on it, as it happens these days. However, when I grab it, it says 15K. So now I know the value. So this is a 15K resistor. I can also do it with capacitors. So I've got like my bin of capacitors, but let's see, I don't know the capacitor value because I'm debugging something, reverse engineering something. So take out this 0.1.
That's handy just to do on a board.
Oh.
If you're doing reverse engineering.
Yes.
And you're just like, I'm just.
Well, it can't be powered if you're doing that.
Yeah,
it can't
no,
be a
it's
circuit.
doing
But if you
unpowered,
can remove it, oh yeah, and then don't forget to go into capacitive mode. You have to tap it to get into C, and it says 95 nanofarad, also known as about 0.1 microfarad. Don't have any inductors, but I can do an LED. Last but not least, so let me grab LED. So I've got this 0805 LED here. What color is it? This is actually the thing that drives me crazy. I'm like, what color is this LED? I don't know. Grab it one way. If that doesn't work, turn it around. Wait, sorry, I have to be into diode mode. Right. Hold on. Diode mode, and now, come on. This way? Nope. Spin it around. There you go. Hey. Oh, man. The toughest part about these live demos is the part wants to flip away. There you go. So it can test the LED, and it'll tell me the forward voltage at a very low voltage. It works with green and blue LEDs as well. I tried it. So
Cool.
far I've been using it for resistors, capacitors, and diodes. I think there's also an automatic mode where it'll like automatically detect what it is you're grabbing, but I like to put it in the mode itself. And then the little top has a capacitive touch bit. So it's they're not inexpensive, but these are like really gorgeous, amazing tools. They're smart. The smart screwdriver is one of my favorite screwdrivers. It like detects which way you're twisting your hand, and it's extremely high torque. And these are just really elegant and easy to use, and they feel great. We have like a large multimeter version of this, but this one is one I actually think you would put in your your work toolbox and use all the time. It comes with extra tips. It comes with this like USB-C charging cable adapter. and it comes in a nice carry case with a padded holder.
For the gift, for the engineer has everything.
Yeah, if you give this to an engineer, they will definitely say it's the best gift they got. No
Okay.
question.
All right, next up, this was coming soon, but now they came in.
That's right. We now have one of the Raspberry Pi compute modules. So this is the easiest and simplest one to use, of course. It's the Pi 4, and I think it has 1 gig of RAM and no Wi-Fi, and no MMC. So this is, the bare bones minimum one. But also, if you want to experiment with this Pi compute module, this is going to be like the least expensive, so least risky to possibly get damaged. They plug and play onto Hiroshi connectors. I think I brought. I didn't bring a module home, but they're surprisingly small. Right, they're only a couple inches on a side. We're going to have the ones that have the Wi-Fi module as well, but to get started, we got a couple hundred of these basic ones. So good, if you're making a design and you don't want to risk maybe frying your module, use one of these to start because they're only like $25.
All right, this was coming soon. Now we have it.
This was coming soon last week, and now it's live. This is the EMC 2101 fan controller. It has PWM output for fans as well as a tachometer to read the fan, and I even have a live demo. So
demo.
Yeah, so let's show off on the live demo because it's actually easiest to explain on a live demo. So this is the breakout, and you communicate to it over I2C, so it's wired up to a Feather here, which has an OLED on top of it. And there's a built-in temperature sensor here. So if I put my finger on top of the chip, you'll see the temperature goes up a little bit, 26 degrees instead of 24. And the thing that's really nice about this is the tachometer input and the PWM output. So you can set the duty cycle of your fan. Instead of just having it like all on and all off, you can modulate it. And you can PWM at different frequencies as well, which is nice. So you can, for example, if you have an audio frequency, it might be annoying. You can hear the PWM as it vibrates the sensor through the fan. So you can set it to a much lower frequency or a much higher one. And there's a tachometer input, so you can then read what the fan RPM is. And that's the part that's really hard and annoying to do on a microcontroller because it's like you have a timer that's constantly keeping track of ticks. So here I've got, besides just the temperature, it's got the RPM. So I have this, I think, at like a 80% duty cycle. Normally it would be 5,000 RPM. And if I do the thing that's always fun, and slow it down with your finger, you'll see the RPM it instantly updates the number, and I read it over I2C. So this is really handy if you want to do fan control and you want to make sure that your fan is running, because a lot of times, people do fan projects and they're like, oh, reading the tachometer is so hard. I'll just set the PWM and then I just hope that the fan does what it's supposed to. I'm not going to bother trying to figure out whether it's running. But fans can get stuck, right? Like something can stop it, and you'll want to know when the RPM is 0 because that could cause your project to overheat. So in such cases, having a feedback path is very handy, and that's what I like about this chip quite a lot. There's also DN and DP. You can connect an external diode-connected transistor as an external temperature sensor. Oftentimes chips have this actually built in, apparently. So you would wire this into the chip's built-in like core temperature sensor. It's a little diode-connected transistor. It does the math for you and just gives you the temperature in degrees C. So it's like an all-in-one fan controller. Very fun. I'm a big fan. And now we have them in the shop. You'll need also a power supply for your fan. That's the only thing that this board does not provide. So in this case, I'm powering the fan over USB 5 volts. But there's also 24 volt, 12 volt fan. We don't power the fan over the breakout. You provide that separately, and then the PWM input is 3 volts, plus or minus, like a PWM frequency with duty cycle settable, and that's what controls the fan. So you need a fan that has that PWM input and tachometer output, also known as kind of a standard 4-pin PC fan. So you'll see black, red, yellow or green, and blue. Standard PC fan, those will work very well.
All right, and the star of the show tonight, besides you, Lady Ada, our community, our team, and our customers is
an NPR Gator Breakout. So I thought this was a good idea because we have these plug and play STEMMA QT boards, and I like them a lot. And I wanted to update the MPR121 because I've been updating all of our sensors. And this one I decided to update two ways. One, I'm going to update the basic breakout, but I also wanted to update it to have alligator-friendly pads. Of course, I forgot my alligator clips upstairs, but you can just imagine. You have alligator clips that you can connect onto these large pads very easily, and then connect that to your conductive material, whether it's fruit for making a banana piano, or copper tape, or conductive nylon, or metal, or spoons, or if I will ever see you again.
Right. Yeah, I wonder if I have any. Right,
I don't know if I will again. It's like the one thing I forgot.
It's like 1 square foot.
I was so excited to get the mask on that I forgot. Oh, can you grab me the copper tape maybe?
Got plenty of copper tape.
Show me the copper tape. So people are like, what do you want to connect those pads to? This copper tape works great. So we stock copper tape and copper material. So you can use this as your capacitive touch pads, and then connect it with an alligator clip for a no solder experience. And then the MPR121 just works really well. It is discontinued, but I'm still able to get a lot of these chips. They're not really discontinued. And there's also companies making pin compatible versions, so I'm not too worried about it. You can even touch multiple pads at once. It's nice and smart. The IRQ LED, the IRQ has a little red LED so you can see when pads are touched. You can change the address to connect more than one, and then of course it's STEMMA QT compatible, so you just plug and play it with these Qwiic or STEMMA boards. So I think you want to make like musical instruments or user interfaces that capacitive touch. I remember when I was in school, making a capacitive touch thing was like the biggest deal because there was no all-in-one chips that did it. You had to do it like by hand with a microcontroller, and it was a real pain. These chips, like, they do everything for you. They do the calibration on boot. They, slowly track when the humidity changes the capacitance of like the PCB material. It's so easy now to make super fast capacitive touch interfaces. So no solder, plug and play, alligator clippy. It's got that beautiful black and gold look.
Yeah, and since it's STEMMA QT, you can use this with your set of things you already use. Like
pairs with a cutie pie, and now you've got a USB to capacitive touch.
Pretty cheap too.
Yeah, really easy.
And like a lot of these things are used in almost like, okay, we're going to use this in like a museum display, and like
very common because it's actually they last longer because there are people bashing buttons. The buttons die. Capacitive touch, they make a big stainless steel pad, and that lasts a lot longer.
That'll last forever. Okay, and that is new products.
Yay, new products.